We have Baker out there for a bit today?
Yeah, I think we'll see Baker today. He's just still sore a little bit, and that thing's healing, so give him an extra day to rest.
He said yesterday he plans to play. Is that still look like the plan?
I think so. That's what we're planning for, yes.
Alex, we seem to ask you every week. He talked about yesterday. This is the most beat up he's been in his career.
Right.
It's human nature that it's got to affect him. Do you see it on film where it's affecting throws, it's affecting mobility, stuff like that?
Yeah, I think the mobility's definitely affected from it. But again, he is a guy that wants to be there for his teammates and play every week. And it's crappy that he is as sore as he is in multiple areas. But it shows how much he loves his teammates and wants to play and be out there on Sundays. It's definitely going to affect him. A lot of guys are affected with a lot of things at this point in the season, and that's just part of the deal of living in the NFL world.
Well, it's not like from an emotional standpoint. Do you see it kind of piling up and wearing him down that he keeps getting?
He's as tough a mental guy as I've been around. I don't think it'll affect him. I mean, he prepares himself as well as anybody I've been around during the week of preparation. He does a great job trying to get healthy and take care of his body each week. And I think once you get to game day, the juices get flowing, and those injuries they're sore, but they're not as sore with all the adrenaline of game day. So hopefully he'll continue to heal and feel better each week. But it is tough, and he is battling through, much like a lot of our guys right now.
So since his mobility is affected, how does that affect the way you design plays for him Sunday?
Just probably don't have as many plays where we're expecting him to run. If things happen in a course of the game where he has to move and run, he will, and he has. I don't think it's has that much of an effect on his ability to scramble, but we would probably not go out of our way to ask him to do a lot of that.
So are you saying that obviously his mobility will be affected now, but was it affected Sunday because of the foot, or are you talking about the knee affecting it moving forward?
Oh no, yeah, I don't know. You want to talk about injuries? He's got a bunch of them. They all affect everything. It's all it all adds up over time. But I think he'll be effective on Sunday, effective enough to play and be.
Your receiving core is a little thin, and then we saw. You expect Donovan to be available today?
We'll see. We think so. We hope so. He was in walkthrough today, so if he's in walkthrough, then we expect him on Sunday.
And you get John Kelly back at least, right?
Yep.
That should help if he's the only one back, right?
That'll help. I think things are trending in the right direction for the other guys. Maybe we'll get to see them later in the week as the protocols run out for those guys. So we're hoping.
Alex, when you look at just the struggles with the pass game kind of all year long, with obviously some exceptions, what have you been able to identify as the biggest issue?
The biggest thing is we just got to be more consistent in the production. We have up games where we look great, a lot of explosive plays, and things work for us, and then other days it doesn't. Last week, it's kind of tough. You go out there, you go down the field, you score, you come back in the second drive, and we throw an interception. Third drive, they stop us on third down, and by that point we're down enough now where we kind of got to get into the mode of throwing it, and that's not when we're at our best, is when we have to throw the football for whatever reason. But when we're rolling is when we're play action, run action, keeper game, and it all ties in together. But we have to be more consistent. We really do across the board. We got to find ways to get the ball to the guys that need to touch it more. That's been addressed obviously. But we have to be more consistent as a group.
Is it a tough way to play when you can't really afford to get behind by a couple of scores because you have to go against what you do best?
Yeah, I think that's anybody's offense. Anytime you're down and having to come back, it makes it tough unless that's how you're built. And we're built to run the football and and take what comes off of that.
Since week 2, when Baker suffered the initial labrum injury, there was a lot of talk, hey, we got to keep him clean, keep him upright, stop him from getting hit. Since then, he's been sacked over 20 times. He's been hit a bunch more than that. Why do you think that is, and what corrections can you guys make to get him a little more protection?
Sure. It's not always the answer of max protection. Max protection means more people around the quarterback. Maybe it's the answer of getting into more empty formations and spreading them out and keeping guys away from them. I thought our protection units have been doing a good job. We got to get the ball out of his hands, and that's our mindset.
Alex, you had some third and makeables last week and some third and really long. So was there one main problem though that was preventing you guys from staying on the field?
Yeah, that was just the conversions. We were in some really long situations which were tough. and we got to execute and we got to convert when manageable. If it's 3rd and 10 or less, we feel like we need to stay on the field. We did dive down and do a good study on 3rd down early in the week, so we feel like we've addressed some areas there, and hopefully we can make some improvements moving forward.
Is it just the little things? I mean, Joel was talking about that before. It's just the minutia on a play. Is that what's?
It is,
you guys
and it's defensive play. I mean, not to give the Patriots credit, did a nice job. They gave us some looks that we didn't expect and didn't see, and they disguised well in some situations that caused us some trouble on 3rd down. So we need to just be better, more consistent as a group.
Joel mentioned earlier that you guys in practice are now, if you make a penalty, you're starting over.
Mhm. Yep.
Do you think they're getting the message?
Oh yeah, there definitely are. So we've had 2 really. Last week was very clean in our operation. No false starts, none of that. This week has been great. Yesterday was a very good practice. So it's definitely it causes those guys to lock in a little bit harder. We've been good at times, and when we're good and we're clean in our operation, we're usually doing well offensively. When we're behind the sticks and it's 1st and 20, 1st and 15, because we jump off sides, it always makes it tougher. But that's just any offense.
Do you know from a conditioning standpoint if Nick Chubb would be able to play if he gets his clearance through the program?
Yeah,
the next day?
I think so. I don't know. I'd be lying to tell you I knew exactly where he was with the conditioning, but guys come off the COVID list and play all the time across the league. So if he's available, I'm sure we'll be very smart with how we handle his carries. But he's obviously a big part of what we do offensively.
Did you learn any more about the earnest last week? Just that
Yeah,
one of the few bright spots here.
it really was. And I'll take you to the last play offensively for us. He catches the ball out of the backfield and runs down the field, whatever it was, 15 yards, and he had 2 defenders coming in on him. 9 out of 10 backs in this league would have stepped out of bounds, and he put his shoulder down. And it's a guy who loves football, and I love that he's in our room.
We talked to David and Joe earlier, and you called that play in the back of the end zone a lazy play. Was there a teaching point off of that play, and how do you kind of expect it to bounce back?
It's unfortunate for him. It cost him a touchdown. So that's the lesson that he learned on that one. You got to finish every play, with the intensity until the play's over, and he'll learn from that, no question.
Your first script went flawlessly in New England. Every once in a while you see that pencil behind Belichick's ear, and he's taking notes, and then he slams the door shut on the offense. It's almost like I don't want to say he concedes touchdowns that first drive, but he seems to learn so much in his games.
Well, they've been doing it for a long time in that same system, so they obviously have a lot of answers with a lot of different personnel groupings and scheme. And they've always done a good job with that.
Did you see a lot of adjustments after that first drive?
We saw a lot of everything that they've shown throughout the course of the year. Really, they gave us a little bit of all the looks that we had seen. I don't know if it was in reaction to our first drive or just their game plan to give us different looks.
Do you think you guys need to do a better job getting the ball to Jarvis? And if so, how do you go about doing that?
Find ways. Just find ways, whatever it's, quick throws, double moves, get him involved in the run game, whatever it is, but he needs to touch the ball more. We're aware of that.
That was the game against New England. It was the fewest yards receiving by wide receivers in 5 years here. You guys are a lot of 3 tight end personnel, so are you okay with that, or do you guys got to get the receivers more involved?
We got to get them involved for sure, but we definitely like our tight end groups. They present some matchup problems.
Apologies. You've mentioned a couple of times quick throws, get the ball out of his hands. How do you do that, and why has that not been happening in regards to Baker and kind of get that tempo?
I don't know, unless you know something I don't know about the time clock and when he's getting rid of the ball, how it's longer than it has been. I feel like the play calling's been the same. We run plenty of quick game. I don't know the numbers on that. But we definitely call plays to get the ball out of his hands quickly at times. And when we have to hold it, we have to hold it. If it's 3rd and long, there's going to be times when we do have to hold it.
What happened on the interception?
I think it was just a coverage, good coverage by them. They showed a single high. They rolled back late to a 2 high and kind of trapped an outbreaker. And, Baker left the ball in a little bit inside, not expecting, the corner to come off like he did. They got us. That too, that's scheme. That's on me. I should not have him off the ball. I should have had him on the ball, and I'll take credit for that. I told those guys that moving forward. I mean, we're all accountable to each other, and that was one of the areas I said I got to do better there for you guys.
Do you think the receivers are doing a good enough job winning versus man?
I think so. I do. We gotta be better, obviously, and more consistent. at times it's good, and at times it's you look up and we're covered, and it's part of football. We got to do a better job of scheming those guys open, and when we do get the one-on-one matchups, they got to do a better job of creating separation versus man coverage. But that's never changed in offensive football.
What are the Lions' defense good at?
They have a really good pressure package in third down. It's multiple. I would say that's the area I've spent a lot of time in this week, just trying to figure out what they're trying to get done on third down with their pressures. They play hard. Yeah.
How's Jarvis's attitude been? I mean, here's why I ask you that. I know you're gonna say he's fine, but
He's fine.
but he used to come out here and talk to us once a week.
Mhm.
Ever since this hotel thing happened, we haven't seen him. So has he changed at all?
No. I mean, he's obviously he's made mention that stings him, and I get that 100%. That's a close friend, but he's a pro. He comes out at the walkthroughs. He's great. He's communicating. He's been good.
You guys ran a fair amount of no huddle, at least trying. Were you planning to do more, but just kind of couldn't keep the offense on the field? Was it a kind of the crux of the game?
Yeah, I mean, when we were down there and trying to come back, we were more in a 2-minute offense than a no huddle offense. But we do have a lot of ways to get to the line of scrimmage quickly and run consecutive plays. Yes.